Guys, welcome back to the channel. S here from s&a'sorgnitecreations. Now, if you see my last video here, I was introducing this new experimental life energy meter, and what we're going to be doing today is just running through what it comes with, and we're going to do a little demo here with some orgonite. So on the right we've got orgonite that we make here, and on the left we've got some from Ken Rohler's website. Okay, so we're going to be, you know, a bit of his versus ours sort of a thing, or vice versa. But yeah, this is it. So everything you get, obviously you get the meter itself here. Now this here, this blue case here, it's sort of like a if you will, a phone cover. It slides off, and you need to take that off in order to put the batteries that come with it inside. So it does come with batteries, which is great. So, you know, that's always good. So it also comes with this here. Now this here is a grounding cable. So it comes with a little bit of information, a little piece of paper, which is right here about that specifically. So if you'd like, you can pause the video and check that out, read that. Now it also comes with this here. Now I haven't read up on this, but I believe you can plug this in to the black side there, that plug up top there, and you'll be able to submerge this slightly in any liquids, and you can actually test the life force energy out of liquids. So I'm pretty sure that's what it's for, but I haven't read up on that, like I said. But yeah, and it also comes with this here. So this is like the pamphlet, you know, it's instructions, it's how to use it and all the rest of it, what the ins and outs and what the switches and dials do, and how to put the batteries in and all that jazz. But on the front cover, it's got a little bit of information about Wilhelm Reich and about the device that he created. And basically this company here, which is that name right there, they're in Canada, actually basically, I guess, took his work, or maybe some of the people used to work with Wilhelm Reich or something like that. They took his invention and basically miniaturized it anyway. However, they got their information. Yeah. All right, guys. Now, we're getting into this soon. I'll turn it on in a sec. But this here external plate. Now, the reason why I got this was an optional thing. There's also a much bigger one as well with basically the whole thing is a sensor, where this sensor is a little bit bigger than that one there. But I got this one because you can put bigger things on it. For example, I'll just reach over here, don't mind me for a sec. Big charge plates like this. I cannot put this on top of that and get a reading, yeah? Where this here can be plugged in up the top there by that red port there. You plug it in, red to red, and I can have it away from the meter and have that whole thing sitting on there and getting a reading, if you know what I mean. So I basically got that to measure bigger things, okay? But for the purpose of this video, just basically what you get out of the box and how it works, we're going to do little ones just on the meter itself. All right, so we're going to turn it on. Now these dials here, obviously this says your range. So this is basically sensitivity, basically times 1, times 10, times 100, 1000, and 2000. Okay, so I have had a little bit of a play, and it is fun to use. This is a really good tool. So turn it on to 1. Now, you know, you can dial this right in. I'll just give you a quick demo. You can dial it in like that. So this one here is your coarse and fine, as it says there. So basically the coarse one will move your needle a lot faster. The fine one will dial in and really fine tune it. Okay, so it's a very simple tool to use, but it's only on like your 1%. So it will pick my energy up, you see that. But when I touch it, I'll actually touch it, and it maxes out at around, you know, 38th sort of thing there, right? So as you up the sensitivity, times 10. Now you've got to redial this in a little bit. So as you can see, that coarse one, as you go higher as well, it gets way more sensitive. So you move these a little bit, like that's pretty close, and this one here will just fine tune it. All right, so now it'll actually be a lot more sensitive as well. It'll pick me up from a greater distance, and as you approach it, it will actually max out at 100% and go off the chart. So we don't actually need to go any higher than this, because I've done it where if you put it on 100 or higher, no matter what piece you put on there to test, it'll max out at 100. So you cannot actually really test, you know, orgonite pieces like that. Okay, so times 10 is perfect. So yeah, as well, as you go up in times, like, you know, you get your hand like say this distance, and it can really register and go up to 100%, you know, a lot, you know, further distance it pick you up, it's way more sensitive. So all right, now we're just going to go ahead and test some orgonite. So up first, we're going to be trying our pendant that we do here. Okay, Now it's interesting. There's there's something that I need to show you guys, and yeah, it's very interesting. So, okay, so this here reads this way, about 49, okay? Now I'm going to be placing this in exactly the same spot every time. Reason being, you can aim to put it directly on that blue square. Hang on, I'll do it like that. So, alright, I've tried to put it exactly on that blue in the central, and it actually reads less, but watch what happens. Alright, so the sensor, so you see what it registers now, and I'll just slide it straight down like that, okay? And it'll register a lot higher. So I don't think that probe is exactly in that square. It's actually more along the lines of being closer to there, or just slightly down from where that is. But this is where we're going to be measuring it, every piece, okay? So it's going to be hard. What I mean is it's going to be hard up against that. And this low battery light indicator there, the pieces are going to be there. So as long as it's hard up against that and it's even both sides, we'll get the true reading, okay? So that's the reading for this. What we're going to do, watch this. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to get a completely different reading. All right, it's weaker. See that? So around 40, 39 sort of thing. We'll put it back here like that. See? And this is all repeatable, and you can do this over and over again. But why is it stronger on one side? Well, I know why, and I'll run you through that. So this specific pendant is designed to be worn where this black part is against the skin or against the person on their shirt, or however they wish to wear it. So say against the skin, okay? So the way this copper coil is designed is to throw the energy into the wearer, okay? So grab hold of this Orgone life force energy and throw it into the energy of the person, okay? So that's how we've made it. This is how it's structured. So it being down this way here, like this, for example, it's actually throwing the energy into the device further, indicating a stronger reading. And as you see that, now if we flip this around once again, you'll see that it registers lower because it's not the way I designed it. So I intended this to work this way. I designed it this way, and this is how I do. Now I know those copper coils did what they did. And yeah, now this one here is actually going the opposite way. Now just let me explain. Again, so, well, you can see the S pattern in the center. It's like if you go to write a S, it's the right way around, where this is a backwards S. Can you see that in the center? So this is designed right now, when you're looking at this pendant, it's throwing the energy down to the floor into the box, where this one here is throwing it up towards the camera, okay? Now, to prove this even further, we're going to place this Orgonite up this way here. We will get it central there, like so. And we'll get a reading of around 49. All right, we'll flip it up the other way, and you watch what happens. It's very interesting. This is a very cool tool. Look at that. It's around 72. Not too shabby, not too bad at all. All right. So, for the energy to go up to the roof, for example, it would have to go this way, and the energy to go up to the roof, for example, with this one is up straight up as well. So both of these are throwing energy up into the air, up to the roof, okay? Just so we understand that. Now, moving on to Ken Roller's stuff. Just dial this in. Sometimes it does move a little bit because when it jumps around, it does move a little bit. All right, Ken Rollers. So if you know Ken Roller, his work is awesome. He's a brilliant man. He knows a lot of stuff about a lot of things. But this is his take on Orgonite. So he doesn't call it Orgonite or Orgones or anything like that. He calls it, I think, Ormusite. I think that's what he calls it. Now this here is not like this creation, his Ormusite. This is a pendant that all this is off his website. So this is one of his pendants that he offers. Okay, so what it is he calls it a quantum balancing pendant. So it is in resin, so the same deal as Orgonite, but it got crystals in the middle, some bigger pieces, but in there supposedly is lots and lots of nano-sized crystals, so very, very small, fine. When it's in resin, you cannot see crystals, very, very fine. All right, so we're going to test this to see how this here pairs up to, say, our pendant, okay? So same deal, I'm going to measure it where it's hard up against that. You know, I want the readings to be true and not to, alter anything. But yeah, this reads actually quite low. All right. Now, just for argument's sake, because we've been flipping them over side to side, see which one's stronger or whatever. There, I flipped it over and it's exactly the same, okay? So this here is measuring, well, it's basically saying through this device that ours, like especially our pendants, are far superior to his. There you go, 50. All right. So it's a big difference. So ours measures around 50 and his measures around 12 or so. Okay. Now moving on to this. Now this is his real deal Ormusite, or his take on Orgonite. Okay. So we're going to place this down here. We're going to hit hard up against that. We're going to put it in the center. And it measures around, say, 68 that way. We're going to flip it over because we've been doing that to all the pieces just to make sure. Should be a little bit higher this way. And it is. It's a little bit higher. It's about, 60, 69 to 70. Whereas ours, I'll just measure it the strongest way around. All right. Ours is a little bit higher. Oh, it's a little bit. Oh, there we go. Ours is around the same, if not slightly higher. So there you go. You're sitting bang on 70. So there you go, guys. That is interesting as. So very, very nice. Very, very interesting. So his versus ours. And, the introduction to this little gadget to our, in our arsenal. So we make Orgonite very correct in our making. So we use powdered and crushed up quartz crystal and selenite. We use very fine metal particles as well as slightly bigger sort of metals like the shavings in there, as you can see on the front. You can see a little bit on the back there as well. Very, very fine stuff. All right, so we know how to make them. I understand how things work with the copper coils, making them good and what stones are good as well. And all that, we're doing a good job, because this meter says so. Basically, it's measuring the energy. And that is it, guys. Stay tuned for more upcoming videos, because we're going to be using this plate here, and we're going to be measuring massive charge plates right here. All right. So our charge plates versus Ken Roller's big charge plate. So that'll be a next upcoming video, because these Orgonites are quite a bit bigger than these. And yeah, stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching.